Call the meeting to order. Ask you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's consent agenda consists of the following items. Item A, approve the minutes of the following: City Council work session, March 6. City Council regular meeting, March 6. Item B, adopt resolution R-24-07, authorizing the mayor and city administrator to execute Minnesota Department of Transportation Office of Aeronautics grant agreement for airport improvement, excluding land acquisition, number 1056465, for the purchase of a mower and related equipment for the Winston Municipal Airport. Item C, authorize the city administrator to execute a quote for a market compensation study with Flaherty and Hood, PA, for an amount not to exceed $4,000. Item D, authorize the city administrator to execute a quote with Ritter and Ritter Incorporated Sewer Service for sanitary sewer cleaning and televising in the city of Winston for an amount not to exceed $203.25. Item E, adopt resolution R-24-08 to accept a contribution from gambling proceeds from the Winston Volunteer Fire Department Relief Association in the amount of $2,500 to be dedicated to the City of Winston Park Fund. Item F, approve a dance permit for the Blue Note Ballroom for the pre-Winstock Rumble event on Saturday, April 20th, 2024. Item G, approve the pledged securities the Security Bank and Trust Company has purchased for the City of Winston for the month of February 2024. Item H, approve the building permit for the month of February 2024. Item I, approve the financial report for the month of January 2024. Claims list, approve the claims list for March 19th, 2024. Item K, authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to execute an agreement with Church of Holy Trinity to provide city services and other considerations for the 2024 Woodstock Country Music Festival. And item L, approve the McLeod County large assembly permit for Holy Trinity's Woodstock Country Music Festival on June 13, 14, 15, and 16, 2024. That's the consent agenda. I'm looking for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I motion the approval of the consent agenda as presented, and I abstain from voting on item G.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We don't have any public hearing tonight or old business, so we'll jump right into new business. Item A is R-Resolution 2409, Site Plan Review Tetra Pak Processing Equipment. Neil?
All right, so you guys, well, some of you that have been on here for a while, Tetra Pak has proposed different variations of adding a parking lot. Trying to find what the best one here would be, but what they're going to try to do is add it south of their facility. So you're looking at right here is their main facility. This would be the new parking area. So you're adding an outlet here and another gated one up here. So, enclosing one of their other ones. Reason being, it's just going to be easier for their trucks to turn around, and actually they just have outgrown their current parking arrangements. So they came before the Planning Commission last Monday, and that was unanimously approved there. The plans were contingent upon approval by the county, being that this is a county road, so they do have to get it approved by them as well. So now it is before you guys to see if this is something that you would like to approve.
Questions, comments?
Mr. Mayor, a motion to adopt resolution R-24-09, approving the site plan for a parking lot expansion along with all the necessary grading, paving, curb and gutter, storm water management, landscaping, lighting, and any additional components if needed for Tetra Pak Processing Equipment Incorporated, located at 801 Kingsley Street South.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, item B, Resolution R-2410, Local Trails Connection Program Grant. Neil?
So again, for the local trails, we talked about this a little bit at our work session, but what we're looking to do is extend the Loose Line Trail from Baker Avenue to, I can pull this up on here, but
McLeod.
into McLeod Avenue, basically into Hamlin Park, to have a connection there.
It's approved.
And
It was on the consent agenda.
looking to approve the, sorry, thank you. Sorry about that. But looking just to basically get approval to go ahead and get some grant funding for that project. That would connect our trail system to basically what's going to be our feature park.
Any questions or concerns?
What are the odds?
They didn't tell me the odds,
Okay.
but it sounds like the odds have improved simply because it is a connection to a current trail.
Mm.
Okay.
Look for a motion then, if there's no more comments.
I'll make a motion to consider and adopt Resolution R-24-10, supporting the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources Local Trails Connection Program grant application for the County State Aid Highway 1 Trail Project.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item C, Winston Municipal Airport 10D Snow Removal Equipment SRE acquisition. Neil?
All right. For another thing that has been come up many times here already, for the snow removal equipment, we have to rebid because the vendor didn't follow through with all the proper steps on the online bidding system. So it is now open, or we would advertise to open it up for bids again, and with the anticipation of this company entering the information correctly this time. The good news is that it will likely be under what we had originally thought.
Since we've tried twice already on this, do we get the third one free?
Well, this is free, yeah. I mean, it's not, I shouldn't say free, but the bidding part's free, yeah.
Any other questions for Neil?
Nope.
Looking for a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve plans and specifications and authorize Bolton and Mink Incorporated to advertise for bids for the snow removal equipment acquisition project at the Winston Municipal Airport.
We have a motion. We have a
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item D, ordinance 02401, annexation amendments. Neil?
All right, so when we did our annexation amendments a couple months ago, we had basically included some land that was already in the city. The state came back and said we need to adjust that. So just to amend our ordinance to say excluding those properties that are already in the city. So for those two parcels, and then removing parcel 3 until we get a better description of that parcel. Or annexation area, I should say.
And then we're set to go?
And then we'll be set to go for those first two areas.
A motion,
On 3.
a motion to adopt ordinance 0-24-0-24-01, amending ordinance O-23-05 to add language regarding land already within the city in annexation area 1, to remove language in annexation area 2, and to remove annexation area 3.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We've come down to the organization report about County Food Shelf. Whoever wants to speak.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us. My name is Carrie Lewis. I'm here representing McLeod Food Shelf. And again, we appreciate the invitation to come here. Just a couple of things about McLeod Food Shelf and what we've been doing. So at McLeod Food Shelf, people that find themselves in need are able to get, in 2023, we're averaging 5 days of food per person per visit. Full grocery trips are available once a calendar month, and then once weekly, we allow people to come on in and get their produce and bakery needs as well. We have 40 years of service to residents living in McLeod County, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit listed with the Charities Review Council. Just got our approval this month, in fact. Approximately 96% of the donations that are received by the food shelf are used for our grocery distribution program here in McLeod County. I did send a couple of figures for you guys. I know I sent like our most needed list and then our 2023 fact sheet, so hopefully you guys all got a copy of that as well. One of the numbers that I thought might be interesting to you guys is some of the service numbers that we're looking at here in Winstead. So when you look at that number side by side to our mobile distribution that we're doing out in Park Towers, it's about even to the amount of pounds and the amount of people that we're serving in one of the biggest cities here in McLeod County. So just like the rest of the state of Minnesota over the last 3 years, McLeod Food Shelf has seen a massive increase in the amount of service that we're providing. So we're, of course, out in the public looking for some support to make sure that we're always able to meet those needs of all of the residents here in McLeod County when they are needed. I think I left a letter along with you guys, and then if you don't mind, I want to make sure that each one of you get invited in here.
Thank you.
Coming up on
He's new.
Thank you.
A little last ditch. All across the state of Minnesota. The food group takes all of the donations that are collected around the state, and based on what we are able to collect and the amount of people that we serve, we get a chunk of that at the end of the March campaign as well. So all food shelves use the month of March as an opportunity to fund and fill their shelves that they're going to use for the entire rest of the year. So although we take donations all year round, of course, the month of March is a great time to have that donation stretched by that match from the food fund.
Do you have any satellite food shelf centers?
So we have our 2 physical locations, one in Hutchinson and one in Glencoe. And then we have our mobile outreach unit that does 8 different stops to the outlying cities here in McLeod County.
Okay. Would you consider another satellite?
So our board meeting is on Thursday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Surprise,
Right.
new agenda item.
Right, so there might be an opportunity for space here in town.
I definitely think it's something that our board would be willing to consider.
Okay.
For full disclosure, I'm on the board of, and we do have our president with us today. They make him wear those glasses as the president. So.
Secret Service.
But I thought, and I don't want to, do you have more presentation? Or I just thought it would be good for all of us to hear what the McLeod County Food Shelf does for our community and the entire county. It's, you guys would agree. I mean, we do a lot. We feed a lot of people in every community, and this mobile outreach, this bus that we have that visits every community, it brings, we bring it to the people that might not ordinarily be able to get to us. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, so when I looked at the numbers here in Winstead, we served 393 folks out here in Winstead with that mobile outreach unit. When I look at the population of Winstead only being about 2,200 folks, that's 18% of your population that we're serving right off that mobile bus.
So there's a need.
There's definitely a need. We just want to make sure that we're there to meet it every day when we show up.
It's really amazing too. Our grocery stores and our convenience stores, we do a food rescue. Is that the best way to describe it? I think. And daily, the Colburns and the Cashwises and the
Quick Trips and
Quick Trips.
Target and Walmart,
Right.
and so 75% of the food that we're distributing is coming from those food rescue resources. The support from our retailers, support from individuals, businesses, organizations around McLeod County here.
What, how have the numbers increased over the last, say, 5 years since COVID?
So when you look at the state numbers, I know this year they reported over 7 million visits to food shelves. Last year, it was about 5.5 million. The year before that, it was about 3.5 million.
Oh, so quite a bit.
When you look over a 3-year stretch, those numbers are doubling. I looked at February, because that's the last month we closed. Our numbers here in McLeod County, February 24 versus 23, were up 28%.
How big is your staff?
There's only me and then 5 staff members. There are 2 over at our Hutchinson location, 2 that run the mobile outreach unit, and then 2 at our Glencoe location as well,
Okay.
myself included.
And lots of volunteers.
And we have about 90 volunteers on our roster. So last year, we clocked over 10,000 volunteer hours. We absolutely rely on the support of volunteers and donations. Without the 2 of those, the McLeod Food Shelf simply would not exist.
So outside of actually bringing food in, are there other ways that people can donate online or?
Yes, so one of the most effective ways is actually through that cash donation. So on Second Harvest, which is our food resource, they say $1 equals about 10 pounds of food. So you can imagine that's a better deal that I'm getting through my food sourcer than even the best couponer could go get down at your local grocer.
Do we not, we have a way to donate online, right?
Yep, so we definitely on our website have that option to donate. You can always walk into any of our locations, mail a check, come on down with those extra items out of your pantry. We are willing to take whatever you're willing to spare, always at the McLeod Food Shelf.
In the summertime, people bring their garden produce.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a home grower and you've got some extra potatoes, extra onions, we are happy to redistribute that for you as well.
What are the most,
The most needed items.
yeah,
I did leave you guys a list of
Yeah.
that as well, but as you can imagine, it's those same things when you or I are going to the grocery store. Gosh, the other day I went to go get my Hidden Valley Ranch and it was $8, $9, and I thought, well, I'm done with Hidden Valley Ranch, I guess. We're going for the cheaper option of that, but always those meats, those cooking oils, those higher priced items that you're seeing in the grocery store are what we tend to be limited with at the food shelf. One of the things I always tell people is if you have extra cereals in the cupboard that you're not using, bring them on down. My food source, I get 3 options of cereals. So sometimes it's just nice to see a little variety in there through that donation, and that's how we get that variety is through that consumer donation or individual donation.
how long have you been on the job?
Since December 18th. I'm kind of the new girl. Lots of people come in, are you the new girl? I'm the new girl. My name is Carrie. Just getting started out, but I was previously renting an office in that location, so I'm kind of familiar with the staff, familiar with some of the clients that have been coming in.
Okay.
And you were a board member for.
And I was a board member as well.
the time.
Your first time, people who need this, are they a little reluctant to come in? And
You
how
know-
do you,
We're trying to break down that stigma. That was part of some changes that the board had made that last year that we removed emergency from the titling. And that was part of the thought behind that is we don't want folks to feel like you have to be in an absolute crisis before you walk through our doors. And we're trying to partner with other agencies like UCAP that I came from so that if you come in and are telling us, listen, I was between my lights are going to get shut off or I'm going to go get groceries, so I decided to come to you. Well, great, because now I'm going to hook you up with my energy assistance friend too. We're going to take care of that light bill and your food need all in the same place.
Are you funded through the county at all?
So we are funded in a lot of different ways. It's 75% of it is that personal donation by organizations, business, churches, but we also do write for grants. We do ask for donations in a lot of different ways.
So the county doesn't,
They do give, they give a few dollars.
They do a contribution.
okay. But, okay,
Big picture, it's a small amount.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, isn't it $5,000, I think? Yeah.
What is your annual budget?
How much do you want to donate?
I'm just asking what the budget is.
Don't have that in front of me, I apologize.
Okay,
But it's significant, right? Because we purchase a fair amount of food.
Yep, so last year, I know we distributed 714,000 pounds of food. 75% of that was donated, so that was about 550,000 pounds that were donated. So there's that remainder that was paid for.
with donations.
And grants and wherever we could scrape up the funds.
During the COVID years, and we hosted one here in Winstead, but we had drive-throughs where people could get packed. We did one out at
Winstock.
Winstock, and I think it was 700 people that believe, that we
Wow.
served. Larry did one, Larry's from Stewart originally, you did one over there.
Well, and people need to know that if they do show up, you're not going to quiz them if they really need the help.
No.
You know, you
that's-
just say, what do you need?
One of the guidelines is you don't need to bring a bill with you anymore, not like the old days when they had to see your photo ID and a copy of your utility bill. It's very much on the honor system, and you verbally are gonna tell me what your name is, and I'm just gonna take you on that. We're gonna make sure you get some food before you walk out the door.
Perfect.
We do track groups. Find out what
Sure.
but it's the
Right.
Well, because of the work you do, you probably save lives.
Oops.
Well, thank you.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thanks. Thank you. We've come to the open forum section of the meeting. If anybody wants to address the council with questions, step up to the podium, state your name and address, and ask away. Okay, looks like nobody wants to talk to you guys. So
Okay.
we'll move on. City administrator update and announcements. Neil?
I was gonna say I don't want to talk to you guys either, but I do have just one thing. Right now we're going through. We have the auditors in the office here, and I just wanted to publicly thank Raquel and her team for making my first audit pretty easy because they answer all of the questions. So thank you for doing a great job.
Next year.
Nope, still hers.
Anything else?
No, that's all I had.
Council have anything?
No.
Looking for a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.